General Sani Abacha's bagman has returned to Nigerian cabinet to take charge of the budget. Not fake news. Okay. Who is this General Sani Abacha's bagman that has returned to Nigerian cabinet again to take charge of budget? We need to understand who this person is. Now, wow. And that is why all these bad leaders have raised people who are worse than they are. Just like Abacha raised and Babangida raised 419 and mafias in this country, and now all of them are becoming political leaders and are raising more people to take over after them. That is to tell you that Nigeria is going to take a while before anything gets better, if it will get better at all. It is all in line with the fact that even in debt, Abacha keeps donating cool and hot hard currency to Nigeria. No ancestor has ever been this good to the giant of Africa. What a benevolent ancestor, even though some people refer to him as an evil spirit. The staggering sums of money stashed away in the vaults of Swiss bank and sundry safe havens all over the world would have built up this country into a marvelous wonderland that could make Hollywood and New York look more ancient than Abacha's sacrificed face. The pity is that the relooting of the Abacha loot is now without trace. Maybe the return of this bagman will sort all that out. In one of his short stories, Clean Sweep Ignatius, the British author Jeffrey Acker told the story of a Nigerian finance minister, Ignatius Agabi, who came with a promise to cleanse the country of all corruption. The determined minister, Agabi, went to the Swiss bank to uncover Nigerians' money stashed away there. He ordered the Swiss bank manager to disclose the names of the looters of Nigerian money hidden in his bank. The Swiss manager refused to be intimidated, stressing that he would rather die than reveal the secret of the bank. Agabi then brought out a gun and put it to the head of the Swiss bank man, but the dogged Swiss banker still refused to reveal the secret vote. Minister Agabi then became convinced that the man can be trusted after defying all his threats. It was then Agabi, the Nigerian, brought out his briefcase packed full with $5 million and promptly asked the bank manager to help him bank his own looted Nigerian funds. Wow. Talk of corruption fighters of good old Nigeria, Jeffrey Acker knows us too well. Abacha was a hardened corruption fighter in his time, and there is the contention in certain quarters that if he had not died, nothing would have been heard of the looted funds. It is against this grim background that the relooting of the Abacha loot may need a debt or two for it to be revealed to the Nigerian public. The looting of Nigerian happens to be a Kabbalistic family matter. Abba Abacha, one of the sons of General Abacha, once appeared before a court in Geneva, Switzerland, to defend an earlier appeal against his conviction of plundering state resources and involvement in criminal organizations. The checkered trial was in connection with the $2.2 billion Abacha siphoned from Nigeria coffers, from 1993 to 1998. Abacha was eventually ordered to repay the sum of $350 million by a Swiss bank or a Swiss court. So the court said the money was being held by a criminal organization and was collected with international assistance from Luxembourg and the Bahamas. So Abacha was given a suspended custodial sentence of 360 days by the investigating judge of the Canton of Geneva, Vez Aschilma. So according to the Swiss authorities, they pursued Abacha for 6 years before extraditing him from Germany in 2005. The Geneva judge, Aschilman, condemned a Monaco-based financial intermediary whose name was not given for supporting the Abacha organization. And the financial bagman was required to pay $9.9 million, a sum which corresponded to the illicit gains he allegedly made while handling stolen funds. So General Abacha, in memoriam, stood accused of having stolen about $5 billion of state funds for himself and his family during his time in power. It was in 1999 that the regime of then President Olusegun Obasanjo approached Swiss justice officials to help in repatriating some of the money that had ended up in Swiss accounts. The Swiss then blocked some $700 million of it before giving it back to Nigeria in installments. This was based on an accord signed by both Switzerland and Nigeria. However, in a movie that appeared tacky in 2002, the Obasanjo regime said that it had struck a deal with the Abacha family by which the government recovered about $1.2 billion, while the Abacha'S were allowed to inherit $100 million as per bonds with worth $300 million. Can you imagine? So thus far, about 2.6 billion of the Abacha loot has been repatriated from Switzerland, while some other recoveries were made from UK and United States. The pity is Nigerians are crying that the Abacha loot is being relooted as they cannot see any benefit coming to them. It all comes down to the fact that, literally all non-looting Nigerians would want the Abacha loot to be transformed to a weapon of mass palliatives. So this is where the return of the Abacha bagman to the Nigerian cabinet can turn into the mother of all renewed hopes. Oh boy. So who is this Abacha bagman now? Who is this Abacha's bagman? So I don't know how, this is a very long article, but it shows the history of how an Abacha's loot were moved out of the country, how